But listen, man, we got a special treat today. We got the biggest of the big dogs. The biggest of the biggest of the big dogs. I'm not even going to waste y'all time. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I got two of the biggest, brightest, best, and biggest names y'all know in the YouTube community that's going to join us tonight, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Give it up for DouglieDoWrong and Barry Cunningham, ladies and gentlemen. Oh!
I tell you, we did it off camera, but I got to tell you right now, it's Big Dogly.
Big DouglieDoWrong, right?
Big DouglieDoWrong. I told you we were going to shock the world. Well, actually, the football world. Nobody thought it would happen, but it did. TDPhinsTalk, DouglieDoWrong, and yours truly sat down for a conversation recently, and it made heads spin. Just three guys sitting down, talking football, having fun, and that's all it took for the Twitterverse to explode. The naysayers said it couldn't happen. The Tua cult out there experienced rashes and hives and threw up all over themselves. They just couldn't take it. They just couldn't take it. How could their beloved DouglieDoWrong sit down with two grifters like TDPhinsTalk and Barry Cunningham? All because the three of us just sat down and talked football. Hopefully, you're not like them. I've got more faith in this audience than I do with the people on Twitter. And I believe you'll see value in a football conversation, and you won't set your hair on fire watching the video. I know that many of you watching this video, I can tell by my analytics, are a little bit older and a lot more level-headed. If that's true, this video is for you. Oh, and we're just getting started, baby. Wait till you see what we have in store. And to borrow a popular saying that goes around in dolphin circles, expect us. Check this out. Just go with that.
How you fellas feeling, man? What's going on, Doug?
Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I saw you guys collabing last time. I was like, well, I got to jump in on that. You got two of my guys chatting. I got to be a part of that.
You gotta have a force field, Doug. They gonna come for you.
Hey, I was just about to say, you better be careful what you ask for, Doug. The backlash is gonna be unreal, bro. Oh man, Doug, go shut your channel down now, man. Go on hiatus. 3 months. 3 months.
You got to do some Twitter jujitsu.
Don't get him in trouble. Listen, man. Hey, we got a great show for everybody, man. As y'all know, DouglieDoWrong. If y'all ain't go check him out by now, y'all done lost your mind. Make sure you go over to his platform. Does amazing work. And one of the biggest things with Doug, man, very consistent. So you're gonna always have Dolphins content. Always have Dolphins content. So if y'all like me and you're like fiending, like where it's at, go check the homie out. And Barry, y'all already know what time it is. They call him the switch up guy out here in these streets these days. They say he was Tua's biggest advocate. Then Tua start getting hurt, and all of a sudden downhill, man. Hey, but we're gonna talk about it. I don't want to start the subject yet. All right, Doug, anything you want to say to the people before we get started?
So far, so good. I'm not seeing a lot of people mad at me yet, so we'll see.
Oh, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it on your platform.
I've already seen cult member in the chat, so apparently I'm part of the cult.
Hey, over or under 100 comments you get this week, you were on camera with TD. I'm unsubscribing to you.
Oh, there's gonna be a bunch. How can you?
Doug, you want to hear something funny?
Doug, he's bringing your brand down.
somebody commented on my show or the replay, and like, you and TD are, I'm subscribing from you both. And I go, oh, thank you. 2 hours later, blah 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 blah. Another hour later, I'm like, dude, I thought you were gone, man.
It's crazy to me, man. Let me tell you something. The thing that I love about all three of us, I don't like tooting my own horn, but I do consider myself into this. But just like you guys, we don't care what others think, and that's why we continue to win. And I like to think that we're all winning because we're all doing what we're doing at a high level and continue to grow and do it at bigger and better depths. And the hate that comes all of our way, none of us are exempt from it. I see it. Y'all know I get it, and I know y'all get it. I see it myself. The hate that we get is just a testament of the hard work we're putting in, because if you're not getting that level of hate, that means you ain't doing nothing. You ain't moving numbers. So from one to another, I commend you guys. Keep doing it. Keep on providing the great content for those who appreciate you, and for those who don't, they still moving your numbers. So we appreciate y'all too. All right. But let's dive in, because I know everybody's here to talk Miami Dolphins football. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know where I stand with Tua. I love him. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. We got two guys here that feels the exact opposite. So I'm going to try to pick their brain and figure out why this is. I mean, did they not see the Lions game? Anyway, we're not going to talk about Tua off rip. I want to talk to you guys about the biggest concern that I have with the team right now, and what you guys' thoughts are this offseason so far, knowing that we still have time to get it right. I'll start with you, Barry, and go to you, Doug, after that. Barry, what's your thoughts on where we stand with the offensive line right now?
Where do we stand? Nothing's changed. I mean, you brought in a guy with a mullet. That's about it. But other than that, they haven't signed anybody. I mean, I watched with you guys. We kept hoping it would be this person or that person, but they're basically going to run it back with the same guys, and maybe they might add a guy here or there. I mean, they brought in the mullet guy. Everybody's talking about DJ Fluker, about being a prospect to bring in, but I mean, we're talking about the same meal. It's leftovers. You know, I don't see anything different.
Yeah. But you say it's leftovers, but you ever had leftovers that taste better than the first time it was cooked? Like all the flavor marinated overnight. So you don't think Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg can have that marination?
No.
How many years they both been in the league?
2 and 3.
So what all of a sudden is going to change your way of blocking both pass and run? Yeah. I mean, if you didn't do it year 1, okay, I'm new rookie. You didn't do it year 2. All right, so he's still got some work to do. You didn't do it year 3. The excuses get less and less and less. So unless this new offensive line coach is basically a Svengali, and he's going to show them some techniques that they haven't learned at the big school. I mean, Eichenberg went to Notre Dame, and then he moved on to the Dolphins. So unless the coach has got some different scheme that they can latch on to, what's the prospect of thinking they're going to do something different?
Well, this is the 4th year, Doug. Maybe 4th year brings the wonders out. Like I said, with that flavor getting in there, you had dried aged steak. It take a little longer than the others. So what's your thoughts on it?
See, there's a difference though. It's like you're eating hot garbage, and then you're like, let me let that sit for a hot minute and see what happens, and then you pick it up and it's even hotter garbage. It's like it ain't good. I tend to give players 3 years, right? I gave Tua 3 years, I gave Noah 3 years, I gave Austin Jackson 3 years. The difference of the 3 is Tua showed me something. The other 2 have not showed me anything, except for I'll give Noah the interception against the Steelers. He showed me something. But Austin Jackson, it's like, okay, what we're gonna do is Tua's blind side. We're gonna hope Austin Jackson pans out, and if he doesn't, we'll scavenge for somebody.
Will we? Will we?
He's gonna cut somebody because he's not good enough for that team, so we'll take him on. We'll take him on because we let some of these guys go, like McGarry, who went back to the Atlanta Falcons. He's getting $5.5 million this year, TD. 5.5, 12.5 next year. He was ranked the 8th best tackle in the NFL. And we were just like, we're good. We don't want to overpay for anybody. 5.5 is too much for the blind side of a guy who can't stay healthy. Like it boggles my mind. And then we have the interview with McDaniel, who talked he talked. I need weapons. I don't want O-line. I need weapons.
Okay. I wasn't even going to talk about that tonight, but you brought it up, Doug. What are your thoughts on McDaniel basically just telling you what it is, just blatant with it, with the weapons and screw the O-line? I'm confused. I'm confused, and I'm so confused. I don't even want to waste the brain energy to try to figure it out.
I thought Brian Flores was worse with the O-line, getting rid of Flowers and letting Umanura go and starting all rookies. Like I thought he was, and then hiring a head coach who's never coached, offensive line coach who's never. I thought he was bad, and then I hear that Mike McDaniel's like, no, don't get me O-lineman.
Well, Doug, you posted a video a couple of days ago, and it was completely blown blocking, but Tyreek still caught a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And people were looking in the comments, yeah, but at least he scored. So maybe that's what Mike McDaniel's like, hey, we're still going to score, even if,
Doug, that was Brandon Shell. That was an Austin Jackson. Brandon Shell did better than Austin. Like, what are you doing here? They're saying because we scored from the 5. That's because Tua's got a quick draw. Okay, good for him. He's learned how to do it from 2021, where he had the worst offensive line in front. It boggles my mind that people don't understand. Me and Barry played in the trenches, right? Mm-hmm. I was defensive end. Barry, you were offensive line. We played in the trench. That's what wins championships. If we have a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 defensive line, we will win this division.
Or further.
Or
even further. I mean, look at what Kansas City and Philadelphia. They're 2 of the best offensive and defensive lines in the league. Yep. And, Philadelphia took them to the precipice of beating them, but they had an amazing offensive line. They invested in the offensive line. Yep. For me, with all the checks that are being written, I'm like, did you not save any money for the offensive line? Did you not want to go out and get, what's the other guy from Notre Dame, McGlinchey? You didn't want to go get the guys that Doug recommended? None of them. They just passed on them.
Well, let me, even though I lied and say I won't even talk about it because it makes my head hurt. Let me say my thoughts on it real quick. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It kind of pisses me off on a whole nother level. It truly does, because I really do feel like we have a roster that can win a Super Bowl if we take care of things that are right here in arm's reach. It's not like it's a money issue. We can figure that out. Mm-hmm. It's not like we can't go get a guy right now that may not be great but can be good or average. I'll take average, Seriously. And what teased me off about this is this point here. You're right, Doug. Tua showed us something in year 3 that says, okay, give him a year 4, right? Year 5 stretching it, but at this point you have to, but he showed you enough to say, give me a year 4. The only reason I'm going on replacing him because we keep on seeing potential better options. That's the only reason. If there were no better options, he earned enough to see a year 4. Mm-hmm. But Austin Jackson didn't.
No.
Unless you're going to tell him, we're keeping you, but you are a guaranteed backup.
Yes.
We're going to get a starting replacement.
You're the swing tackle. Yeah, pretty much.
Eichenberg ain't get 3 years yet.
No, exactly.
But we already know, though. I don't care that they didn't get 3. I mean, come on, bro. I don't care that they didn't get 3. And somebody brought this to my attention recently. You got to look at how many we have consistently failed on the O-line. Solomon Kinley was a failure.
Yep.
Right? Jesse Davis, you failed. Mm-hmm. Michael Dieter, you might as well say you failed because you didn't keep him at center. He wasn't terrible. Mm-hmm. Austin Jackson was supposed to play left tackle. You had to go spend big money and kick him at right tackle, which was bad. Here's the piece everybody forgetting. Even though Hunt played a lot of guard in college, he played a little tackle too, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hunt was a better tackle his rookie year for us than Austin Jackson right now.
Yep.
And you kicked him inside. He became great. That's good. But that was another failed experiment on the right side. Uh-huh. And Eichenberg, it's constant. Now, the reason why I'm highly pissed, we can fix any error we make. But now I think Chris Greer is starting to see, if I fix a few more things, people are going to notice that I just really screwed up a lot. Uh-huh. Nothing I drafted or brought in this area worked out. Not even Hunt, but he does now because Flores done moved him to guard.
Yep.
But nothing worked out according to plan that I wanted it to work out for anything dealing with the O-line or the tight ends blocking on the edge of that or anything. And I feel like, and I know I'm a lot of conspiracy sometimes, right? But this is my conspiracy on this. He doesn't want to do it because it's going to make him look even worse.
Yep.
And on top of that, he feels that if we can just stay healthy, we can still win with a bad O-line like Burrow did this that early year when they went to the Super Bowl, and nobody will really look at it as an issue. Instead of guaranteeing a potential chance of going to the Super Bowl with just fixing it. You're going to be a god if you just fix it. Now, nobody cares nothing about you messing it up if you just go fix it.
Mm-hmm. There's one big problem you're overlooking, in my estimation. You've told everybody, anyone who will listen, that Tua Tagovailoa is the golden goose.
Yep.
And that golden goose needs to be protected. And you had an entire thus far offseason to protect that golden goose, and you didn't. You left the door to the coop wide open over here, and your actions aren't matching your words. And that's the problem I have. I tell people that all the time is you've told us, you told everybody, this is the guy, he is him, but you're not looking. I mean, he's right here. This is your right side. This is your blind side for a left-handed thrower.
Tua is the golden goose, and Chris Greer is in bed with the Coyotes. That's what it feels like, bro. Speaking of Tua, I want you all to play a quick game with me. Give me your chances of Tua staying healthy in a percentage and why.
Who you going with first?
You fight over it. Doug, take this one. Doug, take this one.
100%. Tua is the greatest ever. He's gonna no, I had to do it because people expected it.
I'll clip out your real response.
That's a problem right there. Why do they expect it? You know, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Realistically, see, I hate doing this because first off, I'm a jinx, so I don't want to jinx it.
Let me cut you off for a second, Doug. You hate doing it because the realistic, analytical, statistical answer is so bad, but your hopeful answer ain't the best, but it's fair.
My percentage is very wide. It could be about 50 to 75%. That's where I'm at, right? Because he hasn't given me anything to say he won't. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I defend Tua on certain things because he has given me things to defend him. Oh, he doesn't do this. Well, here's the film. He does. He doesn't do that. But then when someone says he can't stay healthy, do you ever notice on Twitter and my videos, I never clap back when someone says back last year he was inconsistent. I was like, he was. I got nothing on that. He can't stay healthy. Well, he can. I got nothing on that. So
I'll clip that out for you.
He's giving me nothing to make me confident that he will stay healthy.
50 to 75, bro. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'm gonna say 65% chance.
Just FYI, that's more optimistic because that's not the middle. That's a little more than the middle. So
what is
just
your
a shaving point,
right? Because Jalen Hurts missed a few games last year. Like, what are we saying? Like 15 games we need to see him play. 15?
I need a clarification.
Well, hold on. Let me give you the clarification. We won't know the clarification because it's always going to be context.
Yes.
Okay. He missed 2 games early in the season. He comes back, finish the season. We make the playoffs. All is forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
But you missed 2 games late and we fighting for the playoffs and we barely get in and you can't play the playoffs or we don't get in. It's still 2 games, but they're 2 different scenarios. So
that's true.
I can't give you because it will range. It just depends on the scenario. But let's go with the scenario for argument's sake. Let's just go with the scenario of 3 or more games because I'm done with that. I'm done.
So he misses 3 or more.
He misses 3 or more, or he plays 3 or more.
If he's
Barry, you a hater, man.
If he's gonna miss
leave my quarterback alone,
I'd probably around like 70%. I give him.
Jeez. Wait, hold on. You give him a 70% chance to miss 3 or more.
Kind of, yeah.
Dang, dog, really?
He hasn't given me anything else.
Let me be fair to Tua, y'all. See, TD about to defend Tua. Oh my gosh, y'all better clip this. Because I gotta clap back on what Doug said and defend him in this way. His rookie year, he wouldn't hurt all them games. He was also
exactly.
benched for a lot of them. So what, he had maybe like 3 games he was hurt, but like 4
or 2. I think he banged his finger and he missed a game. I think that was it.
Yeah, something like that. And then one of them where he was hurt, but he was really actually benched, but they put him back in the Ravens. But all that mess. But those were injury misses, like big time.
Yeah.
Okay. Sophomore year he just kept getting banged up. His second year.
Yeah.
He was getting banged up
like
a lot.
Here or there. Like he hurt his hand and then he missed I think he missed 2 games. His sophomore year, there was the broken ribs. But then all of a sudden,
he still had the hand injury too. Still,
and then there was that debacle, right, where he wasn't the starter; he was the backup. But if he's healthy enough to be the backup, why isn't he the starter?
He had a foot injury too,
and it was to the point where my mother, who knows barely anything about football, said to my father for the Texans game, "Why isn't he starting?" My dad's like, "Because he's injured." And then she's like, "But then why does he have his helmet on?" Well, because he's in, it was so confusing, that whole situation.
Oh, that was just Flores hating. That was just Flores hating.
Flores messing with him.
Wow. Okay, Barry, your percentage.
All right. So after we talked last time, or before we talked, one or the other, I told you I was heading down to the Hard Rock to gamble. Remember? Mm-hmm. And I showed you all my chips. So I was kicking butt. I was raking in chips, doing really well because I know odds and I know if the guy's sitting across from me and what he's showing, what the board is showing, so I can play poker like that and I understand what my odds are. Basically, since he hasn't finished the season, the chances of Tua staying healthy the entire year, in my estimation, are nil. Only because of history. And it's sort of like if you ask my wife, are you going to be able to lose 10 pounds by next week? And she's going to bet and go, no, I've seen you eat. That ain't going to happen. Okay. Your history shows me you like your blueberry muffins too much. And until you stop those blueberry muffins, you ain't going to lose that 10 pounds. I don't see him stopping his blueberry muffins because he hasn't proven, not odds. He hasn't proven that he could stay on the field. Does he lose? Does he miss more than 3 or 4 games? I think I'm with Doug. I think he's probably at about 70%, but that's going to change because it's not like a rib, a hand falling down. The injuries that will crush him is if he bangs his head again.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know what. I mean, I heard one of the guys on ESPN talking about it. What's the guy's name? I forget, but he's like, if he bangs his head, he could. Oh, Teddy Bruschi. He could go down for 4 or 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Just because they're not going to take it lightly on him anymore.
No, so I mean, if I bump my elbow and I'm like, well, I need to get this fixed, get to the trainer. Hey, wrap it up. I can get back out there in a game or so. But if he gets hurt in the head, the Dolphins no longer control that scenario. And because of that, it's been taken off their table to even do anything. They're going to put him through a hellified concussion protocol to make sure everything is fine. Mm-hmm. And it could go 3, 4, 5 games. I mean, look at the one he took at Green Bay. It didn't look like it was a bad concussion. I mean, he just fell down and he hit his head. The Cincinnati looked bad, right?
Yes.
We all looked at that.
Yes.
The Green Bay one, we're like, dude, you couldn't get up from that. That knocked you crazy. And then you missed 4, 5 games based upon all different stories. But that was a football hit. That wasn't a hard hit. That wasn't a personal foul. That was just a regular tackle. Mm-hmm. So I think the chances reduce.
The thing with Tua too is those concussions were because those concussions and his hip injury are all the same thing. He was trying to do something he didn't need to do. The concussion against the Packers, he had Gesicki open on a slant route, drop back, let that foot hit, get it to Gesicki like he's done thousands of times. The concussion against the Cincinnati Bengals, he had no one near him for days. Just take off or throw the ball away. And so it's like, it's not more of can he sustain the hit? It's more of can he get out of his head of I need to make a play. I need to make because and I just finished the film breakdown on Monday, which took me forever. What he needs to start doing, right? He was labeled check down Tua. and it seems like he wanted to get out of that. So
he had a lot of opportunity to check down this year. He just ignored it.
In passing yards, and he led the league passing. He was third in the NFL in yards per game. He was, I think, number 1 in yards per attempt. But then all of a sudden you see the games where he drops it off to Mostert, and Mostert breaks it for 15. And that's what the Chargers did to him. The Chargers are like, we'll give you underneath 10, but you're not throwing it over. And it messed with him because he's like, I got to push the ball. I got to push. You got to take. So the concussions worry me because look at, Luke Kuechly retired because of the concussions, but also he needs to realize live to play another down. And I'm hoping McDaniel starts to drill that into his head. Take the checkdowns, man. You got Mostert. You got these guys that can take it. You got Yak. Take the Yak.
Or toss it into the stands. I don't care. Just live to play another.
You stop right there. That's the one thing Tua won't ever do, and he ain't showed you evidence he will. Yeah. The rare times, about 5 times a year, you see it. You're like, okay. But anyway,
but if you know your career is dependent at
he knew that 2 years ago and still do it.
No, he didn't know. He knows now, dude. You can't take chances even. I mean, you just got signed to or extended to a nice bit of change.
Oh, that's guaranteed, though, Barry.
I know.
It's a wrap now. He about to Will Fuller us. He about to Byron Jones us. Tua good.
I know, but he's not that kind of guy. You know what I mean? So he's not that Will Fuller type of guy that's going to just sit on the money. He's going to want to be on the field. I don't know what Mike McDaniel's going to do. Yeah, the Samoan warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a little different than you guys. Both of you say 70% chance almost of him missing more than 3 games. I'm going to go with 50%. I don't know why y'all keep disrespecting my quarterback. But the reason why is y'all underestimate a few things. The biggest thing you underestimate is the fact that he's practicing jiu-jitsu right now. So he could take the same hits, and he's learning how to brace.
He's gonna stay to the right tackle. He's gonna say, "Let him in," and that right tackle's gonna come in. He's gonna
never mind. I'm at 90%. I keep forgetting. We ain't got no left guard, no right tackle.
You'd be like Hong Kong Phooey. You guys are too young. You guys are too young for Hong Kong.
Flip them over.
Do you remember who Hong Kong?
Still ain't even addressed the O-line. See, the crazy thing is, if we did get a left guard and a right tackle that was legitimate, that we could believe in automatically instead of being hopeful for, I think all of our projections may shift a little bit.
Yeah, it could.
You still have some risk because he's going to hold the ball at times, and no O-line's perfect, but I think we would all feel a lot better. And I don't want to run out of time because this is just like unreal collab here. But I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. Doug, let's go. Record 2 early season prediction.
Record-wise,
taking everything into consideration. You already got a 70% chance that he's gonna miss about 4 games. Everything. Is X gonna come back to form? Is the O-line gonna hold up? Is this run game gonna go crazy? Can Tyreek and Waddle stay healthy? Can McDaniel be more consistent in his decision? Everything. 2 early season prediction. 2 early.
I'm gonna say 11-6.
I like that though. I like that.
2 more wins, and the 2 more wins come from Vic Fangio and Jalen Ramsey. That's where the 2 more wins come from.
Fangio and Ramsey. I like that. I like it. So what about you, Barry?
I was going to say very close to that. I was going to say 10-7 or 11-6, right about there, because of the defense.
Defense. So you going on the upside?
And it may change. The draft is in the 27th, so it may change in three weeks. So let me know, because Doug, I'm going to ask you. Do you think that number changes if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, or you're already thinking about that?
Yeah, I think, especially the video I put out today, going more into Vic Fangio. I think he's gonna. People keep wanting to run the Fangio defense. He created the Fangio defense, so he's. You heard what Nagy said about him already coming up with schemes and coming up. He had a year to sit back and watch Aaron Rodgers and watch Patrick Mahomes, watch Justin Herbert. I think he knows how he's going to mess with these guys. And he knew I need 2 corners. So he said to Greer, go get me Jalen Ramsey real quick. I need 2 top corners to run the scheme I want to. So I think this defense, and not, let alone the defense is going to, he's going to help the defense. But one of Tua's worst rookie games was against him, so he's going to help Tua every OTAs, minicamp, training camp, practice every day, going up against Vic Fangio. He messed with Peyton Manning his rookie year. He called him a cupcake. He said he was soft. and then he put cheese and wine in his locker because he kept whining about the fact that he kept I'm telling you.
You can't do that to Tua though, Doug. You can't do that to Tua. You can't do that to Tua, Doug. You can't talk to people that way. Tua can't take that type of pressure, bro. We know that firsthand. Nah, listen, y'all got some really bold predictions, but mine is 17-0 because Uno is gonna play the whole season. And even if he don't play the whole season, Mike White gonna come in there, boy. Ooh,
Skyler, you want a bold prediction?
Go ahead.
Mike White doesn't stay on the Dolphins roster.
Hey, well, I'll give it to around June 15th. I'll be spreading the narrative all over Tua. Mike White is going to end up starting the season. He's going to beat Tua out in camp just to get Tua to go crazy.
But
y'all heard it here first.
One of the questions you don't have here is who do you think the draft is going to be? I don't think they're going to be able to resist somebody like Hendon Hooker sitting there at 51. And if Hendon Hooker is sitting there at 51,
they still let me tell you something. They still won't do it.
No.
They still won't. And we know Hendon Hooker sitting there at 51 and they still won't freaking do it. That tell you all you need to know. That tell you everything you need to know. Oh my God, man. Don't say nothing like that on this channel, Barry. Don't get me riled up like that. You got me all pausing on the screen now. Don't start with me, man. But listen, but no, it ain't no 17-0. My too early record prediction is literally 9-8.
Oh.
I think we do get a little better this year, but so does the competition.
Yes.
That makes
and
sense.
we did, and I personally feel like we ran into a lot of fortunate situations last year. Playing the line. I mean, and also when you think about even Tua himself, his victories, right? He had 8 victories, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, 8 in a row.
The Patriots.
Oh,
Are
they bailing on Mac Jones?
Well, we're gonna find that, but I'm talking about the victories that Tua had. I mean, outside of Baltimore and Buffalo, which was early in the season, and their secondaries are banged up. We didn't really have great opponents. Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Houston, Lions, Bears, Browns. Those are 6 out of the 8 wins. And I just think this year, when you look at the schedule, can Tua still play and be productive and play well? Yes, he can, and he can put up numbers even against some good competition, but it ain't going to be the same schedule. I mean, people need to understand it's at least on paper right now, the second hardest schedule in the NFL behind the Eagles. That's not a joke. The NFC East is going to be a tough gauntlet for all 4 teams in our division. I don't care how many people say the Eagles lost. They're still a good team. The Cowboys are still going to be able to compete every week. You look at the Commanders, just depending on what they do for the rest of this offseason. And then who's left in that again?
Have you looked?
Giants. So you see, they're kind of like us as far as a trajectory standpoint. So it's a tougher schedule this year. And some of these teams have already seen us too. Yeah. They've already got a feel of what we're trying to do against them. So we'll see. Time shall tell. Real quick, because I know we're running out of time. Doug, what's your biggest concern with this team?
Offensive line. It depends so much. Offensive line, and also I'd say Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel bailing on the run. Those are my 2 biggest concerns. Other than that, I'm fine. Like, I think the defense is going to be good. I think Fangio knows how to cover up the weaknesses. Wide receivers are good. Running back's good. Quarterback is the quarterback. We all know about that. Tight end too. But for me, it's the biggest concern is offensive line.
What about you, Barry?
Opposing defenses. And I say that because this is Mike McDaniel's 2nd year, and people have had an entire year of film to see what he does, how he's going to change things. how he can bump these receivers off the routes that they're running. Like Doug said, hopefully with Fangio running our defense and our scout team per se, and how he runs his defense, he may show these guys, this is what's going to happen to you this year, because they're not going to let you just run 40, 50 yards down the field and have time to throw it. Mm-hmm. So the opposing defenses this year, I think, have so much film right now that I saw Mike McDaniel spend 17 weeks having a hard time getting plays in. And communication issues. So let's assume he gets all that fixed up. I don't know how much retooling he can do with the offense. He's hoping probably that these guys are ready to play and ready to go. And opposing defenses could be problematic because now they've had a year of film to look at, and they've got 6 or 7 or 8 months to come up with schemes.
Wow. My biggest concern is Tua Tagovailoa. I could go to the O-line, but at the end of the day, if Tua's healthy, we can still win games with a bad O-line. Obviously,
that's true. That's true.
And I want to go O-line. I want to say O-line because that can make everything all right. But if Tua can't stay healthy, or he's not consistent in his play, screw the health. People are forgetting that too. It's not just like Tua played like an MVP for every game he was healthy. It's not like he showed you that the entire season. There's still a little concern there. He did show that he got a little something that if he can string together consistently, I can be your guy.
Yep. But
he hasn't showed it at a consistent basis where you're confident in it long term to put the mortgage on it. Put some skin in it. You can be optimistic about it and say, I'm going with it. I'm rolling the dice. But as far as, whenever it's something tangible, putting a mortgage on it, I don't know anybody who would be making a wise decision by doing that. So Tua is my biggest concern, and that takes me into my biggest optimism. I'm going to say mine first, and then I'm going to get you guys before we close. My biggest optimism this season is Tua Tagovailoa. He's the biggest concern, but he's also the biggest optimism because at the end of the day, I mean, as a Dolphin fan, I just want to win. And if you're a Dolphin fan and you want to win, you got to be optimistic about what he can do because if he don't do it, it's a wrap anyway. What are we even talking about?
Pretty much.
So I'm hoping that he comes out. He ain't got to be an MVP, but take the next step, Take the next step in terms of, you see how we lost that Buffalo game?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like his ball placement in the game, but it wasn't a horrific game. It was a game where he still held his own, right?
Yeah.
If we lose, let's lose that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lose like that. Let's not lose like Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's some Pat White stuff at the end. That's not – no, I'm serious. That's not
wrong.
Lose like San Francisco, where you start out and we thinking we about to rout them like last time, and all of a sudden, after that one play, it's like, oh, man. We in the Chargers, I ain't going to talk about, but you can't have it.
Nope.
You can't have it. So, hopefully, man, he gives us – unity as a fan base.
I don't think
because
that'll happen, though.
Well, if he balls out, I think it can because I mean, what can people say, bro? I understand people gonna hate because they don't like him. I even throw jabs all the time, but at the end of the day, Doug, if we win, well, I guess you're right.
If we win and he balls out, it's because of the coach. It's because of the receivers. It's because
it's because of Tyreek. But okay, it is. It's because of Tyreek. You're right. But what's your optimism, Barry?
All right, I'm gonna say this, and I gotta get out of here. I gotta put the baby to sleep.
I got you.
My biggest optimism is the defense.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think the defense. I think we're gonna have 2020 all over again. And if the offense struggles, I think the defense is gonna come out, get us turnovers, get us points, and help bail out the offense because the offensive line won't be good enough. I love you guys. Thanks for having me.
No, you gotta go. Love you, brother. I'm gonna edit it and clip it up the right way so people don't come after you, bro. I'll put the post surgery work on.
Big dog, we'll catch you.
Appreciate you, Doug.
See you guys.
Hey, Bear, we got 2 minutes left. What's your biggest optimism?
My biggest optimism is the defense. My thing is, if we expect Tua to not be able to play the entire season, then we need a defense that's going to hold the other team's offense down instead of having to score 25 or 30 points to win a game. This defense shows that they could be strong enough to keep other teams to 14, 16 points. And even with the Mike White or Skylar Thompson coming in, should God forbid Tua get hurt. I think if you're keeping the other team and you're keeping the score manageable, sort of like, here, put it this way, sort of like the Jets game at the end. The defense kept the Jets from scoring. It was ugly. They won 11-6, I believe the score was. Is that what it was at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think Fangio's defense could do that?
I'm not as I believe it will improve, but I'm not as optimistic as everybody else. Like, I mean, look at our defense last year. I love the Ramsey pickup. I love the Long pickup. I think Long is going to have the real impact.
Yeah.
Ramsey, I don't think so as much as people believe. And last year, people say, oh, yeah, we struggled, but we also held people. We were a bad defense last year. And not only were we bad, I want you to think about the quarterbacks. You had Mac Jones twice. You had whatever variation of the Jets quarterback twice.
Yeah.
You look at the Kenny Pickett. Now I know he's starting to show a little something, but you look at the young guys you had. Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields. I mean, come on, Barry. I mean, Brock Purdy had to come in and he scoped us up. And Barry, when you really look at all I'm talking about go look at the wins. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I could keep going. I don't even know who we played in Houston. Who was it?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't even remember what the quarterback was in Houston.
Was it Davis Mills?
Maybe. I just named you 9 quarterbacks, and I ain't even go through them all. That it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. We were a bad defense.
And this year you could be facing Aaron Rodgers twice. If Lamar goes to Patriots, you could face him twice. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Justin Herbert.
A whole different landscape this year. And I don't, man, everybody just think, oh, this scheme is going to, man, I'm telling y'all, what you need to understand about Vic Fangio is he's going to make this defense better, but stop thinking it's going to happen overnight. He's going to come in this year, take the personnel he has, try to make it work, and next year he's going to know which 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys he needs to replace. He's only going to get to replace 2 or 3 of them. Then the year after that, he's going to try to get his personnel. This is a process. We have the personnel that Brian Flores needed for the zero look that was sending pressure with 7 guys at the line to confuse the O-line and letting them back out. Vic Fangio ain't sending pressure unless he done made it clear. I'm sending 4. I don't want to have to blitz because I have to. I want to blitz because I want to, and I don't do that often. So, and we don't have an organic pass rush. Emmanuel Ogbah, before he got hurt 9 games in, was trash this year.
Well, Jalen played well.
Jalen Phillips played well, but once again, that wellness doesn't translate into the dog you need.
Yeah, okay.
He needs to take that very little bitty, itty bitty next step to get to that next level. So all of these guys, man, we don't have an organic pass rush. Chubb wasn't even half of what he was when he was. He wasn't 1/3 of what he was when he was in Denver. He made the Pro Bowl simply from Denver. What he did in Denver. So that's just where I'm at with it. So
in other words, what you're saying, without saying it, is the Dolphins are in trouble.
I don't again, we could surprise, like, people think about it. He's gonna send an organic pass rush, Barry.
Yeah.
What is he gonna improve? What is he gonna improve in them guys individually?
And this schedule isn't like last year. You're gonna send an organic rush against Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna send an organic rush against Aaron Rodgers. I mean, who else is on the schedule? Aren't they playing the Eagles too?
Jalen Hurts. Dak Prescott.
Yeah. And who knows what happens with the other guys that they're bringing in, because you got the Tennessee Titans and Carolina Panthers who are both going to have round 1 picks. So what you just depressed me.
I'm just saying this is where I'm at. We're Dolphin fans. We always live in a world of optimism. Oh, we got this new shiny toy and Big Fangio, and he's about to do this and do that. You said the same thing about Adam Gase. You say that about everybody we get. Let's be real, Dolphin fans. Vic Fangio is the orchestrator of this defense, but at the same token, I know these people are replicating it, but all teams that ran his system last year didn't have a rating higher than 22nd on defense. Now I know he's the orchestrator, but once again, there has been offenses that have come out and said they figured it out. They're giving you the dink. They're giving you the dink and dunk all day. They're giving you the strong side run all day.
If you think that's a point of concern, then you are putting the pressure back on Tua to perform.
Yeah, of course, it has to be on him. This isn't a case of defense get better, take pressure off Tua. Tua got to be better than he was last year. He got to be what he was last year in his greatest moments all the time, which is a Patrick Mahomes type level, right?
Yeah.
Because look at it like this. Buffalo had a much more superior defense. Mm-hmm. People don't notice it, but they do. Our ceiling on this defense, if everything works right, ain't nothing but Buffalo's defense. They gonna make plays, they gonna make some stops, but they still gonna give up some stuff. Ain't no defense stopping there. It ain't like Fangio finna come in here and give us the historic Pittsburgh defenses.
No, and we
don't have that personnel.
And he's got arguably one of the toughest schedules to begin his career here.
And Josh Allen still got to go out there and put up major points and stuff. Look at the Super Bowl. Both of these teams had great defenses. Did it matter?
Well, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes. You're going to compare Tua to Patrick Mahomes.
When's the last time Fangio ran a defense?
2 years ago.
In where?
Oh, no, he was a head coach at Denver, so he wasn't the DC.
But it was his system.
Yeah, it was his system at Denver.
First 8 games, that team was on fire on defense. Everything imploded after that. Teams figured it out.
In the same season.
First 8 games, games, they couldn't even win a game, and the defense was only giving up 13 points a game. They couldn't win a game. But right after that,
exactly defense imploded. You're saying exactly what I said. My biggest concern is if they figured out Fangio's defense, which is supposed to be the best defensive scheme out there, what do you think they're going to do to Mike McDaniel's offense?
Well, I'll take it a step further, Barry. Obviously, Fangio knows that they're starting to figure it out because he's all about these new different schemes that he wants to try. Right. He said it in his press conference. It's flattering that everybody runs it, but I kind of don't like it because offense is starting to figure it out.
Yep,
he said it himself. Because if you look around the league and you see, bro, I done already studied the defense. It gives up 2 major things. It gives up the dink and dunk all day, and it also gives up the strong side run because he is an underload guy. He putting the outside linebacker on the weak side.
And we gave up the dink and dunk was given up last year already. So again. Yes. It was the Achilles heel that people figured it out. It was funny in the preseason, people were accusing Tua of being a dink and dunker, and it was like a bad word. They were just trying to defame him, and then everybody else started dink and dunking. It's like, oh, it's a great offensive scheme. So,
and everybody's doing that now, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
But everybody wasn't doing it. They shifted to it primarily last year, right?
Yep.
And this system allows the dink and dunk because it's a bend but don't break system. It's designed to take away the deep ball. It's a lot of cover 4 and cover 6. He is because he did an interview. They made it famous because of how it did against Patrick Mahomes, and it frustrated him because Patrick Mahomes was holding the ball, wanting to go deep. Remember the last 2 seasons where Patrick Mahomes struggled at the beginning because he wanted to go deep? But what did they say happened to Patrick Mahomes? He settled in. He started taking what they gave him instead of always needing to find the guy streaking downfield. And teams been eating this defense up. So I'm more hoping for these new schemes that he's going to try out. So
I don't want somebody experimenting. That's the problem I'm seeing with these new schemes that he wants to try is experimenting and trying something out. Oh, what was that? Oh,
no, that was me.
Oh, it was you. Okay. You got some time to figure it out, but I don't know how you're going to experiment with these new schemes if the players aren't ready for it. That's the thing that I keep looking at. So,
well,
You're scaring me. You're scaring me into
Don't be scared, Barry.
Well, as much as people say I hit on Tua, I'm looking at it again, going, look at this schedule. And if you're saying the defense is going to be iffy, that's even scarier because everyone's thinking that Tua is going to be on the field all year. They think he's going to ball out. They think he's going to take what he did last year and make it the whole season. And I'm looking at the first 3 or 4 games and going, you realize conceivably you could come out of the first 4 or 5 games at 1-4. You got the Commanders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Patriots.
Well, we don't know the order yet.
I'm looking at it posted here. They don't have the dates, but they have the order.
No, that's not the order.
All right.
It's just the opponents. They'll tell us the schedule. We don't know which days or what yet.
All right.
Yeah, they just give the opponent.
I'm looking at 2 different websites, and they have order. Yeah, they don't have the dates. They don't have the dates.
That's the opponents that they released. You'll notice Bills, Patriots, and Jets are all in a row, both sides, right?
Bills, say again?
The division games are all 3 in a row, right?
Yeah, you've got Bills, Patriots, and Jets, then Broncos and Raiders. Then
Bills, Patriots, Jets again on the bottom half, right? It's never in order.
On the bottom they've got Ravens, Titans, and Panthers. So it's been changing.
No, I'm talking about our division games. They have them 3 in a row all the way through, right?
No, division games they've got Jets, Eagles, Bills late in the season. So I don't know.
Yeah, before the Jets though. Before the Jets.
Nope, they got the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Patriots.
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're doing.
Well, we'll see when the dates come out. I think you'll see a whole different arrangement. But let me say this, man. This is before we get out of here, Barry. I want to address this comment because this is the ones that I love. Nothing will make TD happy. You see everything that I complain about. If they do the opposite, I'll be happy. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. Vic Fangio, go create a top 10 defense. I'm happy. Hey, but all the things I'm talking about and that I have.
Yeah. Let me say something about that. I can hear in the background. Is that your baby?
Yeah, her and the wife.
Okay, so understand this. What people don't understand is when they say nothing will make you happy, this is football. You got a little baby when you turn around and says, hey, daddy, exactly. daddy, I'm happy, okay? I'm not sitting here hating and worrying about who's doing this and doing that. I got a wife out there. You got a little baby that's saying, hey, daddy, love me, you know? So, of course you're happy. So these people just drive me nuts with, oh, he's never going to be happy. Yeah, as soon as he clicks off with this button here, as soon as you're done talking to me, you're happy.
Enjoying the rest of the night because the people around me make me happy every day, man. I love my family.
I think they think we walk around miserable because we're upset about this game. One of the things that's been going around is like, Barry, you're not a real fan.
Somebody call me out.
You're a casual. You know, that stuff. I'm like, why? Because I don't get emotionally tied to this shit. Because I can look at a game and go and have fun. And then as soon as they win or lose, go back to whatever I was doing. And I've been hearing your baby the whole time, and the only reason I bring it up is because I'm like, people don't know, man. People don't know that you're doing something, you've created something, and you have a little one that's sitting right there. That as soon as you turn off this camera, it's back to daddy.
Exactly, and family. Yeah. And with that being said, any last words you got for the people?
Should I bring the hat out now?
Come on, baby. We don't talk about this.
What if I put it on backwards, man?
Barry, say your piece, man. Don't get a rain, Barry. Don't get a rain.
All right, so when's the next one? We got to do this again because it's a lot of fun.
It's coming soon. Yeah, well, we're gonna have a conversation real soon about what we talked about, me, you, and Darren off camera. So
I love it. Talk to you soon, brother. Enjoy that baby.
Same, man. Thank you so much.
Hug the baby.
Let me get it. Let me get little mama. Come here.
There you go. That's what that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have her in green, man. So you're not a real fan. She don't have a Dolphins onesie.
Judy baby wasn't wearing the Dolphins onesie. I told you he was a fraud.
Yeah, that looks like Chiefs colors, man.
They call it the fraud. They call it the fraud, mama girl. They call it the fraud. Say hi. You just try.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your family, brother.
You too. You have a blessed one, Barry. Thanks so much.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was another amazing episode. We had DouglieDoWrong, we had Barry Cunningham. Big time things happening, man, and we got some big things in store coming up real soon. Y'all are gonna go crazy about it. I ain't gonna spill the beans yet, but and I'm talking about all of us, man. So love y'all, appreciate y'all, fins up no matter what. And at the end of the day, just make sure that you hug and kiss the ones that are around you all day, every day, the ones that you love the most, like this little precious mama. Hi there, mama girl. Yeah. Hey, mama girl. Yeah. Say hi. Say hi. Dada. That's make mama jealous. Say dada. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Fins up no matter what. Love all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Big dogs of the Dolphins community checking out. Doug, thank you. Barry, thank you. And this is your boy TD from TDPhinsTalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I will see y'all soon. Peace. I am out.